What is going on, YouTube? This is your boy Jordan JC, and I'm back again on the ATS Report. And he is still a Bear. Jaylon Johnson is still donning that orange and blue jersey. He has not gone anywhere. There were a lot of moments where we thought that he was going to be gone. He requested a trade right before the trade deadline happened, and he's still here. So apparently, he was trying to get some big money out of some teams, and it didn't work out in his favor. There were some rumblings that perhaps the Steelers were interested. There was somebody, I believe, that even said on Twitter that he was actually going to the Steelers, and then they reversed that trade report. And so, hey, for right now, Jaylon Johnson is still in the building. He's still on the team, and he's not going to be discussing or negotiating any contract negotiations or anything with the team. He is going to go into free agency next year. Now, there's a few directions that the Bears can go with that. They can obviously tag him after the season is done so they can keep him in the building. But of course, Jaylon Johnson wants big money. There were some reports that he was trying to reset the cornerback market. Now, I'm a Jaylon Johnson fan. I like what he's brought to the team. I like when they drafted him. I was high on the guy. He's proven himself as a shutdown corner when it comes to not allowing his receiver to get yardage, not allowing a whole bunch of passes. The QBR rating against him is very low. He's one of the top cornerbacks in the league when it comes to that. But what he has not shown yet is his ability to actually take the ball away. Interceptions are low. I know he just had a previous game where he had 2 interceptions and he got into the end zone and he was doing the money sign like, hey, pay me. This is what I'm here for. This is what I do. Well, over the course of his career, this is not what he's done. He hasn't intercepted the ball as much. And so when you think of the top tier cornerbacks in the league, you think of Jair Alexander, Xavier Howard. You think of a Jalen Ramsey. All of these guys, Sauce Gardner, these guys also take the ball away. They not only make sure that they shut down their receiver that they're playing against, but they also intercept the ball. And so that's something that we need to see from Jaylon if he's going to request all of this money. I mean, if he thinks he's going to get 20 to 23 million and reset the cornerback market, which is exactly what it takes, because Jair and all these other guys, they're in the 20s. So if he wants to get 23 to 25, that's insanity. Now, if we're going to go back down to 15 to 18, okay. Now let's talk. Let's open up the contract books. Let's open up that pen and put it to check. But it's not happening for that much money. Now, my thoughts is now that we still have him in the building, now that we've acquired Montez Sweat, does that mean that Jaylon Johnson is going to show an even better side to him? Because now we know that defensive line pressure can actually trickle down. It's like a domino effect. If that defensive pressure comes with that line more often with Montez and Yannick Ngakoue and the interior getting to the quarterback or pressuring the quarterback into bad throws, now that goes to Jaylon Johnson's advantage because now he can jump passing lanes. So will this show him to be an even better interceptor of the ball, or will he remain just a great coverage cornerback, which I have no problem with? But if you're requesting big money and you want to be paid like the best cornerback in the league because of that, we need to see the results. And so now, as I've said, even in our Breeze channel video we just posted, there's no excuses. There's no excuses for him now. We've got the defensive pressure. And so this should allow you to showcase what it is that you say you can do on another level. Now, of course, with Jaylon Johnson, again, in single coverage, this man is a dog. I looked up some PFF stats that were mentioned on Twitter. 3 catches allowed when he's in single coverage. He has 2 interceptions that came from that one game, 2 forced incompletions, and a 4.2 passer rating completed or allowed. That's elite. Not going to lie, that is elite. But what's not elite is that you still do not take the ball away as much. I'll give you a comparison. Eddie Jackson. When Eddie Jackson was in his prime, what was he known for? Was he known for his tackling? Was he known for his coverage? No, he was known for being a ball hawk and intercepting a ball and sometimes even taking it to the house. Pick sixes all day, right? At the beginning of the career, this man was doing that just about every other game almost. And so that's what he gets paid off of. Jaylon Johnson needs to show that. He needs to turn his defense into offense. And now we can talk about maybe getting you up to the 18s, the 20s, like an Alexander and a Xavier Howard. But until then, hey, you got to play this out. And hopefully, I'm going to be honest with you, I hope that the Bears can retain him because now with the way that the Bears are going with Montez Sweat, I feel like you don't want to give away talent. This is something that we need to build off of. You don't want to give away a person like Jaylon Johnson, but if he wants to prove himself to be a top tier cornerback, then he has the next, what is it, 10 games to prove himself, 9 or 10 games to prove himself. Let's do that. And then let's see how the chips fall when this offseason comes. Because, again, the Bears can tag him. But even if they don't, perhaps they can get back into contract negotiations. We'll see. Because apparently all the other teams felt that, hey, you're not worth that kind of money. You need to slow down. That's why he's still here. I know that him and his agent, you obviously want the most. All players want the most money that they think they're worth. There's nothing having that mentality. Get your money, take care of your family. Completely on board with that. But also being realistic. GMs are about their business. It's nothing personal when they say, hey, you're not worth this much. We need to renegotiate this contract. We need to come down a little bit, come down a few pegs, because this is your performance based off versus what you're asking for. And compared to the other DBs in the league, this is how you add up. So need to come to a better agreement. Hopefully the Bears can do that with Jaylon Johnson, because I think come next year with the draft and the free agency and the money that we have being able to spill out, there's no way we're not able to pay for him and what he's requesting, but he needs to prove himself over the next course of games now for the rest of this year. And so we'll see. How do you guys feel about that? Do you think that Jaylon Johnson is worth the crazy amount of money that they're saying that he wanted, maybe in the 20s, or resetting the market and saying 23 to 25 million? Or do you think that maybe he needs to calm down a little bit, prove himself in the areas where he's not as spectacular, or he hasn't proven himself, where exceptions are not there? Hey, we don't know, but thank goodness he's still in the building, because now this can kind of shore up the defense with Montez Sweat here, and we'll see how this all plays out until the end of the season. How do you guys feel about this? Leave your comments in the section below, and I will see you guys on the next ATS Report. I'm out.